one of the taxi rides that were on Go Ghana, the taxi driver said to us, you know, this thing, whatever government is doing with the United States, it's nonsense. How? Why is it nonsense? And you know, 5 years ago, it used to take me 5 cities to get $1. Today, it's 12 cities for $1. They are killing us. And he can speak about that because on the taxi, we could pay him in dollars and then he would give us change in cities. Meaning that he understood currency, he understood how it's a transactional maturity, it's so high. You can't compete as a South African. You just can't compete. And when I look at how do we bridge that gap in South Africa, for me, I don't see a way, Montaro. As I said, first of all, the airport Ikua in the bush, OR Tambo is close to no poor person. If you are at OR Tambo, you are there for a reason. You're not there by mistake. Awataka scooter Gua. You came by Uber, which is super expensive. You came by Gautrain, which is even more expensive somehow. Or somebody is dropping you off. And if somebody is dropping you off, they are normally not from around there. It's normally your friend from Midrand that is coming to pick you up in Sandton to go drop you off at the airport. Or Liturile ka Moka Centurion. And it's always inconvenient. There is no one that can just say quickly, it's 11:49. Nah, let me quickly go drop off Tony and come back and do my work. Immediately they have to announce to their boss, I'm going to drop my friend off at the airport. It's still an activity. Goya Airport, yeah, South Africa. Tony, that is a port of entry. That is where money comes into the country. Now you want to tell me you have an economy, and to access that economy, you need a private jet.
At the same time, you also have people, if you want to access the economy, realize that those countries, but we buy the country in to source the means. About Marina South African remote one retreat.
But let me engage you on that, Neton. If I were to be kind to South Africans, it was the first time in an interview I used the word apartheid. And I meant it. Yeah. And I really, really meant it. Hey, Tony, if you want to go to Zimbabwe, Botswana, Swaziland, right now, Maputo, Mozambique, right now, our 4 bordering countries, Lesotho, yeah. It is so difficult. The average South African doesn't have access to going into a SADC country. And I give a passport, only visa, that one is easy. If you know what you are doing. If a Ghanaian wants to go to Nigeria, they just get on a bike and 45 minutes later, they're in another country. And there's Benin and Togo between them and Nigeria. Just to go from Limpopo to KZN is so far away that the average South African in their head, they don't have a mature concept of traveling. Just to come to Gauteng to make money, you know, to show you how foreign money is to where people live. We have to say you have gone to the white people when you go make, it's like you went to heaven to go make money. Then you miraculously come back. Hey, so Montaro, it's worlds apart, my brother. It's worlds apart. South Africans will never know money. They will never know money.
One thing, yeah, the issue, yeah, the town, this thing, yeah, economy, you know, disruptor. Disruptor, it takes 500 case before it's very, very efficient. Transport about. The moment you solve the issue of logistics, When I want to speak the same moment, I want to deliver my plan gamma for my five and I really am trying to go sofa more. With the moment you start exploiting logistics, the moment the economy can drive it, economy will not move while the taxi industry still want to regulate logistics.
When I'm Montaro, stop using English. When the taxi industry wants to regulate the logistics, monoka chama planka wa rwala ko skuteng ko zebediela la gona taxi industry to regulate anything. Hey, they will just say mtoki sarafi and they will laugh at you while you go up and down kama planka. So that's why Kiri, the South African economy is inaccessible because you use this fancy language to explain why you are not transacting.
And that's why the problem is difficult to resolve.
Exactly. Well, there's this book that I contributed in Montaro about 2019. If you check my bio, I like adding, there's this line that nobody ever asks me about, where I've added in my biography, in my introduction, or Leserisha is a contributor to a book called The Africa 80, where we were writing, they interviewed people across the continent, and they asked for in specific fields. So there were people that are writing on health, there were people that were writing on fitness. Now I was writing on investments and entrepreneurship. Oh, mine was in investments, aid, and finance. And they were asking me, essentially in those areas, what do we need to do to fix the African economy? And I said to them that, listen, if it were me, what I would do is I would invest in two things in every rural area in South Africa. Two things, just two things. It's a bicycle and a cell phone. I will make sure that we flood the rural economy with bicycles and cell phones. If I were maybe to be fancy, the one that I always had for my village was one of the tat-tat, the tuk-tuk. Hey, carry the electrical ones. This is 5 years ago, Montaro, 2019. Carry, for me, an economy is the movement of information and people and goods. If you don't have that movement, you don't have an economy. And I always go to the story, accounting in 2017, 2018. I'm sitting in class and I'm just tired of failing. It's a 4-hour class. You know our classes, how long they are. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the lecturer. And the lecturer, overall things that I know. And I'm tired of hearing them. And I'm tired of knowing I know them, but I don't know what English I must speak to put this knowledge on paper so that this guy can just let me go through. And I'm sitting there and I just said to myself, this year, now my grandfather wasn't poor. This thing of poverty, I learned here in Gauteng. This thing where I'm struggling with English, company ka. And you know what I distinctly remember missing? Maraga. Montaro. And when I got out of class, kaya food lovers market, Kafitagua, the first person that was helping me was Zulu. Hey, there's no way I'm gonna get what I want. This guy, now I don't know what Zulu. I said in English. Hey, that's why I realized the same problem I had in class, I've got it now. I don't know what and I start describing it. It's like a squash. It's like this. It's fine. Some more for as long as I'm here. That was when I realized, or you know what, we are talking about Uber, we are talking about fourth industrial revolution, what. When you started your company, Limpopo, I thought to myself, I've always been arguing with this question in my head. Why is it so difficult to find a small, not even a 30 centimeter space, ka mo bootung ya koloi ya motho a boang gae? Gore ke beye maraka, so that all the cars today, we don't even have a number. What is the economy of traveling to Limpopo? How many billions every single day wake up, climb the N1 and go to Limpopo, climb the N1 and come to Pretoria every day, such that in 2 hours, when now it's 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I am gating.
You told me one thing, philosophy.
That's my friend.
Last week, Honda.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I must start getting these assets. Nowadays, no trying to use about
Yeah.
struggle that no on them because the I'm not even pushing profit or what.
Yeah.
Irregular from China is not something whether I fail or I pass. Young concern,
Yeah.
I think you have the kind of a risk appetite I'm getting going.
Yeah.
Okay. Movement, this other young boy, computer, no, this boy is useless. No.
Yeah.
The next thing, based on this and this.
Yes.
Based on the simulated thoughts. No, busy the second hand for deliver. Then it can empower in that thing, because he realized this thing in logistics. Man, what am I doing?
No, Montaro. I mean, when we talk about analyzing all of these economies, Montaro, Wawana, you said something very important. Kenya Goreka 4 second-hand cars. That's the other thing that immediately struck me. Like if it's a hotel, day one, first hour of being in Ghana, I immediately understood the waste of buying a brand new car. I sat in my hotel and I thought, there is nobody here that's got a new car. Every car is old. These people understand the value of transportation. It's not a luxury.
This friend of yours, the lady, who the senior I don't know. Most people we see the niche in that thing, and it's cheap. For example, scooty is one sale.
Yeah.
You can scratch at 12,000.
Yes. And there's no reason. There was no mention of government, there was no mention of economy, no mention of industry. Scooter says one get 12,000. I and I get why.
And I challenge a man, a challenge away, nothing over then in this industry. Now from that thing, like whatever, would it? I was it. No, I'll be honest. Between now and what I kept down to 6,000. Why was it to him? No. Let alone I know appetite investor the billion I reckon scooty 12,000. It all one next month that is progressive.
Montaro, already my chum. Wabano so even a real test faith. Already my brain was thinking, oh, damn it, how do I join this man? Hey.
Like the next not where next month I can because I have to official you. I like a scooter and I say
yeah.
Don't be obsessed. Don't be obsessed yet. No, okay, asset.
Yeah.
Don't use the term asset, accounting, the profit. You are not me to take a is not viable.
You know what's funny, Montaro? You typecast me. Nah. I'm the one that came to you. Kagore, lebalang all this fancy language. Now you are telling me, na kiska fancy accounting, linging. You know, that always kills me. Now I never want to talk accounting. Now I always want to talk, I call it business model. I always want to talk, what's the problem, what's the product. Ukwele girile nkaleraka, girile, kinyaka di space, 30 centimeter fela ka putu. Itloge gae, inkishetse leraka mo Pitori. Ke na taba le accounting. Sharp.
Then I say you said that I was in the meantime, I was back a go and over go now. Why Yaka Mutos Regla? Mutos Regla,
we can even do better. Nah, Mara, I don't want to push us and then we don't even start. But if I can challenge us, I get to scooters this one get 12,000. Sharp. Sharp. Nobody's ever gonna buy brand new. Between you and I will be so disappointed. Which one DRC, which one Ghana, get something brand new. And I will disown you again for another year. Sharp. Next month, Reka one. I get it. I'm even challenging us, or if we can, within the next 2 months, one.
Okay.
The minute half re start to introduce mathematics almost difficult. Ba bantši ba fetše di-fractions. I get it. Hey. Sharp. 12,000. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a minor problem.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%.
Market asset. No, I think I got a debate or market.
Re tla bolela ka market se tše re bile le movement ba re scooter se stakile kae se nyaka 1,000 rand gore re lokiše eng and then now we are talking gore mona gape sale re tsentšha scooter se a seng ke re bone le sente.
No, Mr. Mchan, I can't go to la pele ke bolela not go ba ruti ke a leboga. Kolwa ka lwana re ka re kopana ke ke be bolela ma pele gore scooter sisi or ke bone ka boka mona ska miss opportunity go diela ya fela mona scooter sa sisi.
Say no more, Montaro. Ko rometse article ela ya ka e ke reng ke ngwadile to Africa 80. That's just for reading, Jay, for fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, thank you, Montaro.
Thanks, Mr. Mchana. We go check next month and sisi.
Sharp, Umre.
Sure.
Yeah. Look, they're not gonna, I don't know if captions will help or translation or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But, and if Tony wasn't clear, that's fine. I think you catch the gist of the conversation. I think I had so many insights and so much feedback from Ghana that I'm gonna continue to ramble on for years and years and years. The only thing that I can say is that I see the success of apartheid. I don't see us going anywhere as a country. There's too much politics, too much. Apartheid was a success. I can't even say there's too much complacency or whatever. Structurally, we've been defeated. When they say divide and conquer, we've been divided. South Africa is very clear. If you've got money, you are here. If you don't have money, you are here. And the two worlds will never meet. Where they meet currently, it's so inconvenient to meet that that meeting is unsustainable. Anywhere else on the continent, you can set yourself a target to make $1 a day. And at the end of the year, you've got $365. That's about 7,000 rands that you've got. That's about 7,000 rands that you've got in profit. In South Africa, if you set yourself a target to make $1 a day, good luck. Good fucking luck. And those are some of the things that we want to challenge. When we talk about the local economy, when we talk about that's the idea when we talk about not even the township economy for me, when we talk about the rural economy, because that's where it's real for me. I want to see a situation where in South Africa, between village 1 and village 2, you've got commerce. If that does not happen, then we have no hope. You know, if you're not able to produce spinach and, as I said, maraca, I still don't know what the English word for maraca is, in your village, in Mashashan, Manyapie, and sell it to Jan, sell it to Sibora, sell it to Bujupita, Bunyulands. If you can't move around that ecosystem of villages there, roaming, in that village, that area there, I'm sure it's a 5-10 kilometer radius. If you are unable to move around there, move money, move goods, move people around that area, forget about the economy. And I'm giving away business ideas now because you heard Tony and I have challenged each other that in the next 22 days, we have to show each other a bike each, 12,000 rands. And I'll be transparent with you guys. My bank balance currently 186 rand. I don't have a job. Tony luckily month end he gets paid wherever he works. I don't have a job. But that is a challenge I'm up for. Orega scooter, grega scooter, and retention lining. And we see how that works. And from there, we'll upgrade. We'll see how long it takes us to buy a second one from profits of the first, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth, and then a sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. You are going to watch my friends and I revolutionize the rural economy of South Africa based on, first of all, principles that we know of. As I said, I wrote that article 5 years ago, 2019. Based on principles that we grew up with. Tony's one of my longtime friends. He's in the DRC. He's doing the work that he does there. I've recently traveled to Ghana and I keep on bringing the lessons home that immediately, the moment I landed, I could see that shit, this is a country that's going places. And as I was saying before the recording, you guys maybe didn't catch it. When you speak about an economy, you have to have your hands on deck. You cannot speak about an economy when you're speaking about online transactions that are flying past the people in your country. If someone is hungry in next door, right next door to you, you have no mechanism of giving them money. There's no mechanism of transacting. Transactions, that's the word that I used in the previous interview. Tony mentioned it. There's no mechanism of transacting. I said in the radio interview that today, if you want to do business with a street vendor, they ask you, do you have a Capitec account? I come to you and you take me away. The other one that I want to see, that I haven't seen yet in South Africa, and I don't think I will see it for a very long time. I want to see if your rural area uses dollars, especially the places near borders. So if you are in Ziras, do you guys use the pula as a currency? If you guys are in Limpopo, there in Messina, do you guys use the Zim dollar or the dollar to exchange, to transact? Do you guys use is it the Loti or I think the Lesotho currency? Those towns there, Lady Brand, Free State, do you guys use the Lesotho currency to transact? The guys go Caroline there near Swaziland. Do you guys use Malange? There, guys there no, near Maputo, Nelspruit there. Do you guys use the Mozambican currency? And I know this goes into exchange controls and all the confusion and formality of whatever. I'm not advocating for illegality. I'm advocating for when we speak economics, buyers and sellers transacting means of exchange. Are you guys transacting? Is it happening on the ground? And once it is happening, is it building an ecosystem? And is that ecosystem then starting to spread into greater South Africa? Because if we don't see that organic movement of people, goods, and information, we are never going to be an economy. The Minister of Finance is going to stand every 28th of February and they're going to give a speech. And that speech is speaking to nobody except the educated few in Sandton. I want to give the first budget speech of an informal economy. The first State of the Nation address of an informal economy. Don't confuse informal for illegal. I'm not talking about illegal economies. I'm talking about informal economies. And those are some of the things that you don't see in the country. And people can say to me that, hey, listen, whatever English that you're going to throw at me, fine. But if you don't see people transacting, then you cannot say you have an economy. If it is difficult for you to receive money and to give money, as I was saying to Tony, in Ghana, you had the feeling that if you stand somewhere and you say, can I help you? You are going to make $1 that day. You are going to make money that day. In South Africa, it is flippant difficult to do that. It is near impossible. We speak about Ubuntu and all of those. We have corporatized ourselves. We have corporatized our cultures. We have divorced it from us as the people, and we have put it in language and structures that are inaccessible to us. It is super difficult to make money in South Africa. When we talk about this book, the 40 lost years, when we talk about apartheid, when we talk about separate development, divide and conquer, when we talk about the damage that was done by apartheid, you know, people, the ANC puts it politely. They say we are still recovering from it. I put it the opposite bluntly. We are nowhere near recovering from it. We are fucked. Apartheid was a monumental success, and you see it today that there is nothing that has been done so far to even scratch the surface of dismantling the apartheid economy. I'm opening this book because I want to show you there's this glossary, the dramatis persona, given the large list of characters in this book and the fact that many of the central actors share the same surname, I include brief potted summaries of their careers, political nicknames appear in brackets, and asterisks indicates that the person in question is also listed in the biography. This is a list of all the people that fucked our country by making sure that apartheid was a success. And that's one of the things that I love about the books that I read and the books that I've read, is that they are so factual and critical in analyzing apartheid that they even put names. The other one that you guys will remember is the Super Afrikaners that had a register of 10,000 names. So here's another one here, written in 1996, the 40 Lost Years. It was written by a gentleman, what's his name? Dan O'Meara. And here it's even got the biographies of those gentlemen that fucked us as a country. I was saying to my brother yesterday that one of the responsibilities I have as an older brother is to teach you to make money. Because if you can't make money as a man on this continent, on this earth, you are dead. He's an engineer, civil engineer, I'm an accountant. And all of those are beautiful. It's wonderful professions that, you submit a quality CV and you're going to get admitted into one of, we call it the big four, the big five. You're going to be adopted into the global professions of the world, and you're going to be taken seriously. You're going to wear sword, you're going to speak English, you're going to move around, what have you. But I can tell you now, if you are not well versed in the ability to make money, if you are in sub-Saharan Africa and you cannot transact, you are fucked. That is why we lament educated professionals that are unable to make money or that are poor or whatever. I will never discourage education. A lot of my value comes from the finance and business models that I know and understand. But I'm telling you now, if I cannot, there's this thing in Ghana, in Nigeria as well, called pure water, selling fresh water. If I cannot put this in a plastic bag and sell it, I am dead. My qualifications don't matter. I cannot exist. This, I'm a keg. This is the economy. This is the economy. But in South Africa, it's happening too slow. It's too small. It's too dispersed. It's too illegal. It's too apologetic. It's too asking for permission. You need to travel to some of these countries and feel how uncomfortable you feel with everybody on top of you selling you something. Then you can tell that these guys are alive, they're vibrant, they want to do something, they've got value to give. They are not accepting that they are poor and they're gonna die of hunger or poverty. And we don't have that. We don't have a never say die refusal to let go of the handle on the economy. I don't even think we have a handle on the economy. And I'm saying that we are trying to figure out ways to do that, because then that's the next disruption in this country. That's the next disruption. It's not going to happen through slogans. It's not going to happen through voting for whatever alphabet. It's going to happen through forcefully engaging yourself, attaching yourself to the economy, not illegally, forcefully, informally. Take dollars as a form of payment. Re tla bona ko pele or exchange a guy. Man, be fucking difficult to pay, to not pay. Make it easy for money to land in your pocket. Make it difficult to not pay you. Make it impossible to not pay you. I will say again, at the peak of my awe, I stood at a beach in Ghana and I said to myself, everything in this country is a negotiation. Everything is up for sale. And I was impressed by that. I was impressed by that. In South Africa, we don't negotiate, we don't sell. You have people that are wearing luxuries, carrying luxuries, wearing Nike, selling at the robot or begging for money at the robot. As we're talking the Montaro, I saw no new car in Ghana. You got to appreciate that transportation is a necessity. You're getting from point A to point B. It's not a luxury. It's not I've arrived. It's not clap hands. It's not take pictures and post on WhatsApp that I bought a car on credit from a dealership. The sheer fucking audacity in this country to be posting a brand new Porsche, a Mercedes Benz, an Audi, a Golf GTI, as a symbol of I've arrived, as a symbol of I've made it. You don't see that on the continent, because a vehicle, a car is a necessity. It takes you from point A to point B. And if we are still idolizing owning a Mercedes Benz, a BMW M4, we are still so far away from economics and the economy. Our brothers from abroad are going to continue to run circles around us. They are going to own us. because we are slap hard. We don't have money to consume. We like calling ourselves a consumerism economy. We don't even have money to consume. Let alone we don't know how to make money. And I'm saying to us, those are my lessons from Ghana.